We are very happy to have you here. And we have Ilya Orlov. That's me actually, but I have introduced myself already. Let me yeah. And we have Arseny Klekovkin, managing partner at G1 Ventures, and Tony Jacobs from SBT Labs. He's head of product and founder of Magnet. All right, guys. So today we would like to talk about the future. We would like to talk how blockchain and Web3 technologies are going to impact the society of the future. Because I think this is actually the most important thing and like about the Web 3.0 industry. This is what really makes the industry and the game different like from everything else, because there is nothing else, like there is no other technology that would impact like the social life of humans so much as is the way like the blockchain does it. Because first of all, we have this one, like first time in the history we have the technology that like that allows to store data in the open way, and that makes the history like unchangeable. So maybe this is the first time when humans are able, to write the history of like, first of all, like the, like the financial system, but then also of the whole society in the open and unchangeable database. So, today we're going to talk about different aspects about the future society based on Web3 technologies. So, first of all, we have a couple of different topics. Like, we want to talk about what Vitalik thinks about this topic and what he's posting, like his philosophic works. They are actually pretty interesting also as well, and exciting.
So thank you for the organizers to managing this event. So I'm happy to be here, and I definitely think that social part of every project is important for especially Web3 world, because Web3 world is something that focused right now. I'm not sure focus good word, created around communities that think that blockchain could change the approach how everybody connected. We are fully trustless environment when everybody can be easily checked and fully transparent. And it's something really great about blockchain that by default provide all these features to the world, to everybody. So social things and social features, the main part, I think, for it. And definitely reputation systems that could be created based on blockchain, fully transparent, fully trustless, and available for everybody. It's great. It's a great thing. So because of that, I think it's way more better than what we have now, like Facebook or other social networks who is storing our data without our real control. We don't know who has access to it and how they are using data about us. Not just data that we want to put there, but also data that can be analyzed somehow by these companies. And so because of blockchain, all this information can be structured correctly when you definitely can control all the access data that you want to show, data that you want to share with anybody, and that's something great.
So let's go to the next speaker. And now I want to ask Igor Doganov, please introduce yourself as well, and tell what do you think about all this stuff in a couple of words before we go deeper into the topic.
Yeah, of course. Thank you. Thanks for having me here. Hi there. In 2020, I give you the opportunity to see how the industry evolves not only like looking on the charts, but speaking with founders, speaking with other industry participants. And the topics that we are discussing today is really on the front because there is a real need to organize protocol projects and platforms, etc., that will use this decentralized social mechanics. This will open, I think, a lot of new ways how blockchain and crypto can change the world. The DeFi itself, I think, became the first real world-changing use case of blockchain, and the second step, I think, it could be the Web3 infrastructure, when you can run, let's say, your website on Web3 infrastructure, or your, let's say, decentralized application will work not on Amazon servers, but in some permissionless decentralized cloud, etc. And the third step, I think, it's the concept of decentralized social. This will transform, I think, many industries, and will show some amazing use cases. So I'm very glad that I can be here today and listen speakers, get some expertise from them, and I hope we'll get some ideas during the hackathon, and hopefully we'll work with you as let's say, VC phase 2 founders. Yeah, have a great time. Thank you, everyone.
All right. Okay, guys. Thank you so much, Igor. Thank you for your story. I also believe right now we are right now in a very interesting, time point where we really have a decentralized technology, but it doesn't guarantee a decentralization at all in the back end of the companies and even of some real kind of real Web3 applications. And I really believe that right now it's the best time to be loud and to protect our community and to realize, to protect our values and to realize that we are the new nation. Web3 might become the new jurisdiction, and we gotta speak as loud as never before right now, because we need to fight for this decentralization. So decentralized technology doesn't mean that the service is going to be decentralized. The simplest example is Binance Smart Chain, BNB chain right now. All right, they have 21 validators. All of them are CZs. Different photos of him. So, and that's a simplest example how decentralized technology can be used in a super decentralized way. And so what we see that we have huge amount of companies that are and teams that are, as for me, I see them as some kind of wolves in the sheep's clothes. And I think right now, our community, and people like you, real true builders, guys, it's so amazing to be with you here. Guys like you are really going to define the way the new world is going to be organized, because we are not just building the new internet here, we are building the new way how the society is going to be organized. Because thanks to NFT, DeFi, and DAO protocols, the society can be completely organized. And everything what is happening right now with all this crazy shit, what is happening in NFT industry and so on, I always see it as an experiment. Of course, it's sometimes it feels wrong, and because of all this scammers and everything. But if you look at the whole humanity as a whole, we are one organism that has generated one hypothesis and then testing it from thousands of different sites, and in all possible ways, in the good way, in the bad way, and then something what is really sustainable survives at the end. All right, guys, thank you so much again, Igor. So now I want to go to the next speaker, Arseny. Please tell us a little bit about yourself and what you think about the future of the internet and the metaverse.
Hi guys, pleasure to be here. I'm a founder and managing partner of G1 we invest in the space for about 5 years. And to be honest, it could not be more. I couldn't come up with a kind of more exciting space or sector to be in. And it's not only volatility and kind of financial aspects of it, but it's the potential of blockchain and Web3 to change pretty much most of what we're doing. We entered the space viewing the blockchain really as the basis to build scalable and decentralized business and social models. And as we've seen in the last few years, a lot of new ideas, a lot of experimentation have been happening, but kind of we still don't have too many scaled use cases. We're still talking about bringing a lot kind of mainstream businesses and kind of corporates and larger communities. But kind of where we are right now is another kind of point of reflection and thinking what should we change, what should we focus on rather than just being.
Thank you very much, Arseny. And right now we have our speaker to introduce himself, Tony Jacobs. Please go on.
Hi, everyone. Happy to be here and happy to see everyone in the metaverse. So my name is Tony Jacobs. I am basically with the Social Discovery Ventures Laboratory, and hope you can hear me at this point. So I'm a product manager.
Perfect, yeah.
I have a product with the title Magnet. It's a social discovery / dating game. And our initial mission with Magnet, just to kind of introduce you to why it has everything to do with the decentralized society, was to help people create a digital identity within the dating and social discovery space. So we're one of the pioneers who are demonstrating how individuals can connect with one another on a non-visual plane. So when you basically, just a short story of our app, when you download our app, you create an avatar, a 2D avatar, and this is your representation for your entire experience within our app. At this current moment in time, you can only show your real face to those users who, for example, you match with. So if you really get along with someone and you have a great conversation, you connect over a lot of common interests, you're able to actually see their real face. But our plan for the future is to actually help people stay anonymous, because we can see that is actually, in fact, in demand right now on our application. And of course, to sort of create a 2D metaverse around our world of Magnet, with individuals being able to update their faces, accessories, bodies, as well as create animations from their avatar. The key to our application, it's sort of like an anti-Tinder. So the key is you communicate with someone before you actually get to see them. So there is no physical or visual bias of appearance. That means that usually you have a chance to connect, and those conversations that never happen on Tinder, they actually happen on Magnet, because you don't swipe the person you don't like. And what else can I tell you about myself? So our goal, perhaps, and the opportunities that we see within the decentralized society is definitely the opportunity to perhaps validate accounts. So, you know, everything about soulbound tokens, for example, is about validation. So perhaps there could be an area of exploration for us there in validating accounts and confirming their, you know, the fact that they are indeed real people. Of course, we're also exploring whether through something like a soulbound token, we can develop souls for not just, you know, credentials, for example, but also for expertise, skills, character, personality, individuality, perhaps something that could even give an individual mortality within the decentralized society in the metaverse. But again, this is something that perhaps I can add as we continue our discussion.
All right, thank you so much, Tony. It's excited to have you here. So let's get a little deeper into the topic. So, what do you think, guys, is the most interesting like part of like like the Vitalik's vision, like about the future and about soulbound tokens? Like which use case excites you like the most?
I read this article about soulbound token not a few days ago, let's say, prepare myself for this event. And the main, let's say, use case that I have in mind, and I expect that this could be implemented quite soon, is the reputation regarding the governance of the Web3 protocols. So let's imagine that you are voting on different Web3 protocols, DeFi protocols. You're voting for some, let's say, changes of the rates or distributing the grants from Uniswap or another kind of things. And in the near future, I think we will have the service that will track all these, let's say, voting activities. And for example, if you always accept the proposals about let's give grant here, let's give grant here, so you are like spending person, you're so grateful, you're spending a lot of money, so you can, let's say, be dropped with the soulbound token that will mark you as let's say the person who will spend a lot from the DAO treasury. Or another point that you always voting for increasing the, let's say, farming.
Yeah, so I guess building on what Igor said, what's really exciting for me in the whole kind of SBT concept and what the social element that we're talking about is really because it is a missing piece of the puzzle in order to solve kind of I guess the current situation where kind of the whole Web3 blockchain is spaces, and also in order to build on the kind of new areas of applications and just to scale the whole ecosystem. We've been busy building quite a bit of financial infrastructure and kind of base layer, but now what needs to happen is that we need to have more engagement of people, and the framework of SBT is exactly kind of putting a spotlight on that, on engagement of individuals, or on kind of on them using their wallets and their on-chain activity in order to kind of bring at least some parts of their personality kind of upfront, and then this kind of activity is supposed to start generating more of a basis to build some kind of new services, or to build kind of more sophisticated applications. And there could be multiple examples, starting from unauthorized lending in finance towards all sort of targeted services, etc. It's not like anything. It's not a perfect concept. It's full of exploitation potential. It's full of kind of spots that need to be filled. But as a framework, as a direction of development, I actually don't see anything in our space that can match it in terms of how much it is needed, and in terms of how much new kind of value and new activity it can bring to the space.
Thank you so much. That's a very interesting input over here. So I also actually have something to say before we go to our next speaker. I also wanted to add something here. So I think first of all, everything needs to start with like the ZK So with the permissionless identity verification, that's where, like, you know, this separate, like, for example, right now Polygon ID has released their application for this. So this app, it's like it's just a separated app, like only for for your identity verification, and like, so you can keep your privacy. So I think like the question of the privacy is very, very important here, like because blockchain gives us like a transparent financial system, but at the end of the day, we all like agree at the same that public people and public organizations, that like they should be completely transparent. And if we're talking about like private life, for example, and so on, then like everyone needs privacy. So like it's impossible to build future society without like you know, like dealing with the privacy like in the right way. So and then we, of course, like, so it's, if we're talking about, you know, like privacy, keeping your privacy but still having like and showing like your reputation, then of course, like, yes, different like soulbound tokens, they can play a very important role as a proof like of um like achievements and participation and contribution and commitment, like definitely it's interesting. But at the same time, I think what is like the most important thing right now is that we need to have a political, like, either different, we need politicians all around the world to start like promoting this topic, or we need to become politicians ourselves. I really believe that Web3 like leaders right now and influencers, they should realize they are the new politicians. We are the opposition like to the corporates, like, because Elon Musk has like long became the like politician, a social like influencer who is manipulating like the financial market and like the way he wants, just like with one tweet, and now he even owns the Twitter. So like, if we, I think if we let it go just the way it goes, like, I think the same thing is going to happen with Web3 what happened with Web2, and it might be scary, like it really, really scary, because right now people already going insane with all this like trash that is like, you know, like flowing on them like in everywhere in the internet. And if you're gonna see corporations, like, I think the national governments actually have no chance, but like corporations, they are like our real like big like, competitors. And I think because big corporations and big businesses, at the end of the day, they are only running after numbers, like losing completely like everything else, like the soul, I would say. Then it means that they are like, at the end of the day, like they we need them, they're necessary, but at the end of the day, at one point, at the like, historical evolution timeline, these big corporations are always starting like to push like the industry back, and then we see these new companies and startups who are coming to disrupt the market and change everything, change the rules and the way people communicate. That's what we have seen already before in the history. I think it's the biggest transformation right now, because yeah, we have a completely different way how we work with data here and how we build communities. I think it's the first time in history when we really have this like instrument to build like this society of the future, because all these dreamers and philosophers like, and Karl Marx, like, or even if ancient Greek philosophers, they were like really seeing and dreaming about like good great things, like, and they were like, you know, inventing amazing like tools and solutions, but there was never a technological layer to make this all possible. And right now, like with blockchain, with wallets, with DAOs, like with NFTs and like soul-bound tokens, which are non-transferable NFTs, and with DeFi, we can really try to build this society of the future. But you got to be strong together, guys. That's very important. Yeah, because yeah, apes together strong. All right. So please, I can hear one of the speakers is raising a hand. Anton, please give Taras mic.
Okay, thank you so
So
much.
okay,
So yeah,
thank you.
thank you, Ilya, for the great words. I think all this concept, I really like it. So I think the idea of financial, in a nutshell, even before blockchain, before current like computing financial system, was to somehow manage relationships between people, between society when I want to exchange something. So money as concept was something that was born like 100 years ago, hundreds years ago. So right now, blockchain is perfectly great infrastructure to manage not only financial relationships, but also many different types of relationships between people in companies, governance, and so on and so on. So the great thing that we really have this infrastructure now that could be adopted. So and Ilya, you're definitely right about that we should be politicians of new age, because the main goal right now for Web3 field is bring more people here, and so it's one of the difficultest, hardest task that we have now, because right now it's really difficult to explain what we want to provide to guy who haven't heard about blockchain before, about why should he go there. So our main goal just make this bridge from world without blockchain to world with blockchain, and show that it's significantly better than the world was before. So that's why we should be politicians. That's why we should be product manager for every product that we build, and try to think, okay, how we can give features to audience, to people that will make their lives better. So yeah. So I think that's all.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Taras. I'm always saying that Web3, it's not just a technology. For me, it's like the new ideology, the ideology of the new age. And this idea, like this hope that we could, build like a society with transparent financial system. To be honest, that's what brings us all together here. Like even though we can see so many scammers and so many idiots who are just going crazy, like from all this like power and money they are getting, even though like all this bullshit is happening anyway, like the main thing about the blockchain, and that you can hear like everywhere around the world, wherever you go, if you go like to a blockchain meetup, and even if like complete noobs are like gathering there, you can still see people discussing something great, like something bigger, something like solutions for like common problems of the society. And that's what like Vitalik Buterin said in one of his tweets, that uh he has called the Web3 community like as the most like progressive social phenomenon. And he said like in this tweet that we, as representatives of the most progressive like social phenomenon in the world, we should be really better than just like these capitalistic guys who are just trying to build like a little pyramid with them like on top. We should be really thinking about something bigger. Of course, we all want like like to build some like capital for our family and so on, and build something great and big. But I think we should, because we are building like the products of the new age, we should also even build our own companies in the other way. And it's very, very hard. Like I really agree. Like I really understand why people for thousands of years they were building the pyramids, always the pyramid, always the vertical of power, because it's just much more simpler when no one is arguing. You make like decisions like much better, but your decisions that you are making, they're much worse, because there's still like the social intellect, like of a crowd is not actually, sometimes people still often say about the intelligence of the crowd as like as well something like stupid and short-sighted, but actually it's not. Like if many social statistics show that actually people really understand like that if you really take like the opinion of like normal people, like they would never vote like for like military, and like they would always vote for health, for like education, for like infrastructure, like and so on. And that's where we see that actually the crowd has like pretty smart, like social common intelligence. So I think that blockchain and like DAO technologies and soul-bound tokens with reputation, with transparent reputations of all members, can help us to finally like create like efficient systems, efficient societies out of it. So who is next? I think Tony has something to say for us. He has been waiting too long. Tony, it's your side. It's your time, I mean.
Thanks. Thanks. Sure. I mean, I definitely think that we are on a brink of something phenomenal. To support all of the words that you just said, it takes me kind of back about 2 years ago. There was a person whose name was Eric Weinstein, and he had a podcast with Joe Rogan. I don't know if you guys know who Eric Weinstein is, but basically, for example, we can do things with DNA today. But ever since 1973, because we kind of, in a way, have become God by acquiring those powers, and within ourselves, we haven't been really progressing as humanity. So I think what is happening to us right now with Web3, the direction that we're headed, is an absolute step to us progressing as humans. Because for all these years, in my opinion, subconsciously, we weren't stimulated. We were not kept as curious. And of course, as human beings by nature, we always need to constantly hunt for something new and something unknown. And by stepping into Web3, by having the opportunity in the near future to do so with the help of course, SBTs and DeSoc in general, I think we are going to move on to the next phase, if I may say so.
Yes, absolutely. Like I really think that it's some kind of like I really feel like this thing that you said about, the society, this theory that society has stopped actually progressing like in the cultural way in the 70s. Like it really feels like this. Like I really need to accept that, because we kind of like stopped exploring the space like so actively, and we started just like to deal with all kind of like consumption stuff. And then the problem about like metaverse and the immersive technologies is that right now we are like standing at the edge where like imagine like you know how easy is that right now to manipulate like the society, like, and people, like especially uneducated people. Like they even use a TV, and TV is efficient enough, all right? But with the internet, like the internet, you can do it even much worse, like, right? The way Facebook and Google and others manipulate us, that's something like absolutely on another level. Like this, they really get into our core code of like, of humans. And now we're gonna see these technologies like Neuralink, like chips, and like this immersive technologies when you put your headset on, and then it becomes like so immersive that you kind of believe it. Like, okay, right now it doesn't work like really, like I mean with meta spaces, but when I tried it, like VR porn, like I swear, like my brain, like first time I did it, like my brain was like, oh my god, that's really happening to me. Like my brain, like my body was like so excited, it felt like it's real. But from the second time, my body has like my brain has realized that it's just another trick of technologies, so it's not kind of real, and it's just a picture. So like but it's still like this immersion, right? Like this level of immersion, like if the space is not going to be ecological, like if we not going to find out the way how to clean the feet like from all the bullshit, like and lies and all this, like clickbait stuff, like I mean humans gonna go fucking insane. Like really feels like this. So we really need to find out like the way how we can really um, self-regulate. Like I think the self-regulation is a great and big topic, like because as long as we're gonna be like asking SEC or like to come and like punish all the scammers, or as long as we're gonna tell the SEC, Security Exchange Commission, not to touch us because our party is great and everything is pumping. So as long as the Web3 community is not going to grow up and realize that we gotta like start to be self-regulating ourselves, before this, I think nothing good is going to happen. And I think we have it's by the way, I think it's really like amazing phenomenon, like how hard is it for corporations and national governments to understand Web3 right now? Because for them, it's just because of the philosophical, like because they don't believe in the philosophy and ideology. They think we are all CryptoPunks. Most of them, most of the conservative guys, like from from the real world, they really underestimate like the whole crypto space. And it's really for me it's really strange. Like I really don't know why old corporations are not really capable to build like true decentralized technologies, but some small teams of young 25-year-old guys like with 5-year like experience in Solidity build like really amazing stuff that is like really disrupting like technology, like just doing it in their room. So what do you think, guys? Like right now the governments, like which role are they going to play, and the corporations? What do you think about, like, for example, Meta, right? Like, or Microsoft Metaverse project which we are using right now? What about these guys? What do you think? Where are they going to take us? And what should we do with them? Like how we should react?
Amazing question. So first of all, just a few words about, for example, Meta. My colleague said, who are quite, let's say, looking to the, let's say, corporate decisions, etc. He said that it's highly probable that the Mark Zuckerberg will, let's say, lose his position because of his failure with the Meta, with all this budget and billions spent on that without success. So the bottom line is that corporations in coming years, I guess, they will not be so risky going to the Web3. We expect that the upcoming 1 or 2 years could be very tough. At the same time, regulators see that Web3 can build the separate, the parallel system, etc. And some of, let's say, market participants even think that, for example, the situation with the founder of Tornado Cash is not the case of judgment, but the case of to show founders that regulators are like bosses here. So it was an interesting post somewhere, I don't remember where, that very, let's say, deep tech founders who are building some privacy solutions, let's say, very decentralized solutions, etc. Probably they will try to hide themselves, let's say, move again from lofts to basements, just to hide, to stay anonymous and not to have these risks as Tornado Cash founder had. So this is of course, the issue, for example, that venture capital will have, that some strong projects will try to raise with the old models, like send the ETH to the smart contracts to fund our development without, let's say, rounds for VCs, etc. This is also the possible way of how industry can evolve. So as one of the speakers today said, that there could be a new political, let's say, communities, right? In DAOs, let's say, political DAOs, I think is the real future. And these people will try to stay anonymous in some way. What do you think, colleagues?
I think, guys, we need to start a political party by ourselves. Let's find a team who's going to create an MVP for our political party, and we can start one straight after the hackathon.
Yeah, short term, there's clearly kind of a threat of regulatory backlash, and and there is a risk of some talented teams kind of going more into an anonymous mode and kind of seeking less exposure. Yeah, but that's the kind of that's one of the challenges, and I don't have much of a prediction as to which way it will go, because like if we look to 2, 3, 4, 5 years ahead, I think there will be a reasonable balance between between the businesses that need to be regulated and the businesses that can well, protocols and projects that can thrive and can be functional without it. And let's not forget, there are governments that are trying to kind of have kind of global dominance, but there are other countries with their own jurisdiction that actually happy to have kind of innovative communities, if anything, at least legally incorporated there. So I think in the medium term there will be kind of some sort of reasonable balance, which will mean that kind of it's not going to be completely anonymous, it's not going to be completely tax-free, but there will be some reasonable solutions. But if I look longer term, then for me, actually disrupting government tech, I think that's one of the kind of most potent promises of Web3 and blockchain technology. But it will not happen, in my view, in the next 5-10 years. This is a much longer process, and it requires not only evolution of our ecosystem, not only scale and kind of awareness and regulatory change, but most of all, it requires kind of the kind of maturity of people to a certain extent, their readiness to take kind of responsibility and active position in their own hands. And it's kind of the technology evolution, this kind of social evolution, which we're talking about, and also the governments moving, like becoming more and more dependent on digital life. I think that it's all moving in the right direction. We'll see a lot of hiccups, but ultimately, I guess that's the goal. And as regards today, what we're doing here, what we've been doing the last 5 years, we're actually doing experiments, and oftentimes social type of experiments, because any community DAO or any kind of protocol, any governance decisions, they're all sort of experiments. But this is what's important, is that those experiments are done globally, and there is no other field where it is done like this. And as we see with all problems that we're facing right now, governments are pretty much helpless, and they can make a lot of science and kind of show up there, and some politicians can kind of just kind of show up there and see that they belong to it, but in effect, like not much is happening. Whereas what we're doing is creating those potentially, whatever model will work globally for a protocol, it may as well work for a corporate, and after that it may as well work for some intergovernment operations.
That's really hilarious. Like, thank you so much for your position here as well. I absolutely agree, and this is so hilarious how all this, like big old corporations with all their resources, like with thousands of people working for them. But when I look at the world that has been built by these old VCs and by this old corporation, I see a pretty miserable picture, to be honest. Like, I mean, people are drowning in the consumption. The planet is drowning in the poverty and this like crazy consumption, like everyone looking at this fancy life in Instagram every day, like people really going like insane, like and I mean, especially people from CIS countries, we have seen like really like amazing like things happening, and like people really like becoming zombies because of the propaganda also, and so on. So, and for me, as a kind of one of the last things that I want to say in the end, we're moving close to the end of our event, amazing event, guys. But the last thing from me that I wanted to say is that for me, it feels sometimes that we are right now in the World War III. We're living during the World War III, and this World War is not happening between the countries. This World War is happening between new people and the old people, and it's not about the age. It's about the vision. Like, some people are trying to stop the time, and other people are trying to accelerate the time. So let's accelerate the time, and let's try to make it in a balance, because at the end of the day, like Arseny said, most probably it's still going to be yin yang. It's still going to be about Jedis and Siths, about the dark and the light side. But I think we need to restore the balance. The Republic strikes back, guys. All right, guys. Then please, I would like to ask you, our speakers. I would like to thank our sponsors first of all. In the very end, to say thanks for bringing us all together here and organizing this amazing, unique event. It's so great to be early here with you guys. So Kikimora Labs, and of course we have just a second. I will tell you. Oh my God, sitting for 1.5 hours in the Oculus Quest 2 is kind of a challenge.
Social Discovery Ventures.
Exactly. So Kikimora
Right
Labs.
behind you.
Thank you so much. Taras Dovgal, co-founder of Kikimora Labs. Then we have SBF Fund and Igor Doganov representing this great VC. And of course, Arseny Klekovkin, the managing partner of G1 Ventures, and Tony Jacobs, SDV Lab, is the head of product and founder of Magnet. Thank you very much, guys. It was really amazing to be here with you. So please, as a conclusion, as a final word, mic is open for everyone. Tony, maybe you have something to say.
Absolutely. I mean, to be honest with you, I wish we had more time. There's a lot of interesting things that we could discuss about decentralized society in general, and there's absolutely no limit as to what ideas there can be in development, in the development of the society. Myself, I'm purely here more as a learner as well, because for me, my focus is developing the 2D metaverse, which is Magnet, my product. And of course, I was curious to join to discover more things about how we can evolve in a decentralized society. Because from what I understand, soulbound tokens are mainly for validation, right? But their name suggests, a much deeper thing, which is, it's a soul. A soul is not just a medical document, a CV, or an identity or something like that. So I was going to kind of like explore with you, if we had more time, how can we store in a soul something more than that? Perhaps a character, a personality, an individuality. Perhaps we can discuss this together later.
I'm really going to use this thing in the future. If you don't mind, I'm always going to say, that soulbound tokens are starting not with the code, they're starting with your soul. Right?
That's awesome.
Thanks. That was your idea. I just kind of like polished it a little bit. So definitely we gotta go on, guys. It's just the beginning. And as I say, we all got the vision, we all got the technical skills. Like we are running hackathons, we're building on hackathons ourselves. And that's like, we are in the right time, in the right place with the right people. Like the only thing I wish everyone is like, the force and have the energy and to have a health, because everything else we got, and then it's just a question of time. And I'm sure you all guys have an amazing, like glorious adventure in front of you. And it's exciting to be here with you. And please, Taras, a couple of words, and also Igor and Arseny, just maybe quickly, but something as a conclusion for everyone.
So yeah, I'm super excited about the results of this hackathon. So we definitely have a lot of stuff that could be created in the decentralized social field on top of blockchain, on top of crypto, and I will be especially excited about projects that are trying to make the bridge between Web2 and Web3 world directly to social thing where experience will be really smooth for user, and some great impact will be really measurable. So yeah, let's build feature together. And thank you Ilya for managing all the conversation. So
Thank you so
Let's
much.
go build.
Thank you so much, guys. You are amazing, all of you. It was really great talking with all of you together here. Igor, please, couple of words for everyone. Just
Yeah.
I think it's also important to wish everyone good luck. The hackathon is starting soon.
Exactly. Yes. Thanks again for inviting me, and it was a great chat today. Well, I'm not ready to right now to give the ideas for the hackathon. I just want to do it maybe at the start in coming days, right? So today is like more theoretical discussion. So yeah, thanks for your time, and it was great to be with you here.
Thank you so much. It was amazing to have you here with us today.
Yeah.
Arseny?
Sure. So thanks, guys. I enjoyed the discussion. I really like the idea of actually going deeper into more specifics because the concept itself, I guess we're all on board because we're here, not least, and that's why we're here. But really, what is it that's going to kind of work in the next couple of years? What is it that we can say to the guys here at Hackathon and kind of give them some kind of valuable input as to what they should focus on, what in our opinion will work, what will not work, and what aspects of it are worth looking into. So like whenever we meet next time, I definitely support this. But it was a great start. I guess like wishing everyone have a great weekend, and then next week should be exciting at Hackathon. We're definitely keen to see new ideas and kind of give our feedback and help them kind of evolve. Thanks.
I can already feel this event is going to be really amazing, guys. So thank you everyone for participating. And before you kids are going to sleep, I'm gonna tell you just a little one short story in the very end of our amazing panel discussion. So I'm not sure if this story is actually really true, but like I heard it like as a little, like there's a little legend going around. You all know Rarible.com, right? Like, and in 2017, when OpenSea was already existing, like guys, like the founders, like they're also from one of the CIS countries, like post-Soviet Union countries, like they were working, like copying the OpenSea, and the other guys, like I heard, like I'm not sure if it's true, like they were kind of like laughing, at them and thinking like, like no one even uses OpenSea. Why would you like try to copy it, like, or like build another version of it, like back in 2017? But the guys were building. Then 2018 came, it was bloody, and then 2019 was there, and it was like cold as hell, and nothing was happening in the industry. But then, like at the end of the year, we saw like some movements in DeFi, and then 2020 came, which completely changed the whole industry, and the NFT became word of the year. And I think it's, by the way, a great achievement of the whole community, and we all help like thank everyone who was participating in this craziness, and especially of course like the builders that were behind all this amazing like interesting stuff. So be discover, like be sure like in yourself, believe in yourself, like believe in your project, and like try to dig deep, like and as the better technical skills you have, the better your vision is. And as soon as you have your vision and you found it, just stick with it, like build it, like, and believe in it. And then maybe even if everyone is laughing, in 2-3 years you can be laughing at everyone back. Thank you everyone, it was amazing. I wish I could have some audio effects here, but I think it was really great. Thank you guys.
Thank you too, and have a wonderful weekend.
Yes. Thank you guys. Bye.
Have a great weekend. Bye bye.
Yeah, great week,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Bye.
Thank you, guys. Bye bye.